the day 4 session, right? The Terraform day 4 session, right? So in the previous session or in the last session, right? Like we had discussed about few of the resource creation, right? Like for example, we created the VPC, we created subnet, as well as we created the key pair also, correct? So I hope that you don't have any doubts in that section, right? And also we checked it out, like how exactly we can create a VPC in the AWS itself. So based on that knowledge, actually, we were able to create through the Terraform. We were able to create the VPC as well as the subnet, correct? So there are many of the things are there which are yet to check. Like for example, how to create a security group, or else how to create the elastic IP address or AMI or EBS and all that, as well as variables. So today we are going to cover few of the other stuffs. Like we are going to cover on security groups. Suppose I want to configure a security groups, as well as I want to assign some elastic IP address for some node, right? As well as a AMI, how to create AMI, how to manage the AMI and all, as well as I need to even create the EBS, right? Elastic block storage, right? These are the few things which we will be seeing, and also we will see what is a Terraform state actually. This is one important thing, and we will start with the variables actually. Variables is little bigger topic. Hopefully that I will continue today. I mean, I will start today the session, but it will continue even for the next weekend or even in the weekdays also. I'm planning to take in next weekday, any one day I will, I'll take in between the Terraform class for 1 hour. So that is what today's agenda, sir. Hmm? Okay. So let's start now. Now, so security group, right? How to create a security group resource. So now here what is happening is that the same, like I have a machine and I have a Terraform installed everything. So here you have something as a main.tf file. This is the main Terraform file. So basically this is the providers and this is resources. In this resource we will be able to create one instance of, and the instance type will be T2 micro, and this is the image. Basically this image is nothing but this is of your Amazon Linux image. So once you run this Terraform file, right, you will see that an instance, AWS instance by name my cloud server will get created actually. And if you see it here in my in my AWS, right, you could see that this is only one server where you have installed the Terraform. That is what it is. We can able to see here. Okay. Now, so what we will do, we will try to see how to create a security groups. Right. To see a security group, what you can do, right? You can go with the providers. That is, you can go to the official document of Terraform, AWS providers, right? So that's what we can search for it here. And if you go over here, so this is what the documentation, right? And if you come down, if you go to the EC2, right? Here, EC2, here you have something which is AWS underscore security groups, or else if it is not available here, basically security groups comes under the VPC. So basically you have to go to the VPC section. Okay. If you come down over here in the VPC section, yeah, here you have VPC section, and in the VPC section you can see that actually you have something as a AWS underscore security group. See here. So I'll just open this. Okay. So now here under the AWS security, they have given an example here over here. So what I can do, basically I can just copy this example. Okay. I'll just copy this example, and just a second, let me check the recording started. Yes, the recording is going on. So here, so what I will do, I will come over here. I think there's one bracket missing here. Okay. After that, I will just paste whatever I have copied it. So this is nothing but the security groups, sir. Okay. Now, so when it comes to security groups, so what you're doing here you are having a resource with the name AWS underscore security underscore group, and the name of the name is going to be AWS allow underscore TLS. What I will do, I'll try to change this name, sir. So I'll try to change the name with my cloud server SG means security group. Okay. And here you could see that something name is called hello TLS. Okay. The description is what? Something. But here, if you see your AWS security, it is actually it is taking a reference from the AWS VP. It means that it needs some kind of a VPC, sir. So in the last class we saw, right, whenever we are creating a VPC, by default security groups and routing table is also created, right? Whereas here in our example, I'm trying to go with creating a AWS security. It means AWS security group. It means that basically whatever the instance which is getting created, right? For this, I need to assign my security group actually. But whereas the security group in turn is requiring some VPC, right? But here in our example, we have not specified any VPC, right? Or else I need to specify the VPC and then use that VPC, right? So, but I don't want to do that actually. So I don't want to do that. So what I can do that basically I can use some kind of a default VPC. So what is the default VPC? If you come here in the documentation, if you go over here and in your AWS in VPC itself actually under the VPC section, can you check somewhere there's a default VPC? See, AWS default VPC. See, open this. I hope you are understanding what I'm saying, right? So what I'm trying to tell you here that actually this AWS security, it requires some kind of a VPC. See here under inside this section, you could see that it is actually referring to some AWS underscore VPC dot main actually. Oh, it means that it is expecting some VPC to be available. But here there's no VPC at all. Okay, and I don't want to create a new VPC. So now, but I can use a default VPC. So for that's the reason I just checked over here. So there is something as a default VPC. When I open it, you could see that actually there is a default VPC is there actually. Just copy this, sir. Just copy this. And what I can do here, I can come over here and just I can paste it here actually. Here. Now what I will do that under this, what I will do, I will use this default VPC. Now how to use this default, how to use this default VPC? You know very well. You need to just take a, you have to just use a kind of a reference you have to use. How to do that?
AWS dot
AWS
people dot
underscore default underscore VPC
dot
dot
people.
default. Yes, good. Dot ID.
Right.
So this is what you have to use like this. Okay. Okay. Good. Now if you come down here over here, if you come down, I don't want to use this IPv6 CIDR. I will remove this line. Okay, but I have to mention the CIDR block actually. It is also referring to some main VPC CIDR, sir, actually. So, okay, that now I don't want to get into those things and all. So, what I will do, I'll remove this. So, what I'll do, I'll remove this and then I will put like this default 8000/0 like this. Okay, this is ingress and this is a egress, this is ingress actually, inbound and outbound, right? And what are the other things? Okay, fine, tag is there, fine. So now what I'm doing that here, I have set the AWS security group. So any doubt you have in this section? So only what I have to do that, because we are using VPC, since I don't have any VPC allocated, I'm using some kind of a default VPC and I'm just using that default VPC here, over here. That's all. And after that, what happened? Now, whatever the security group which you have assigned, you have to come up here in your AWS instance. You have to tell your security group, sir. So to do that, actually, what you have to do that you have to go to the documentation again. Now here, what you can do, you can open the EC2 instance, right? Where is EC2 instance? It is there under EC2, right? It is there under EC2. Open here, come down here. Where is AWS underscore instance? Not EC2, AWS underscore instance. Correct. We have been seeing from the first day onwards, right? This AWS instance. Open this. See, if you open here, now you could see that actually, if you come down, you have to go to the argument reference. Come down. Just see, sir, where exactly security is there. Security underscore group actually. Some variable actually. This is nothing but the key and the value. Where is AWS underscore security underscore? See, here you have security underscore group, sir. This security scope. But he's saying note that if you are creating an instance in a VPC, use this actually. Okay, let me do one thing. So let me use this. See, I'll copy this and I'll come over here and in under AWS instance, right, you should see you need to copy this like this equals what you are using. See, you are using this reference. What you have to do? AWS underscore security underscore group dot my cloud, right? My cloud server sg dot id. Clear, sir? Right? But this will fail. You can see it, but this will fail. But this is how you are using it. AWS security group dot my cloud server sg dot. You have to check that the spelling is not. The spelling should be correct. SCCURITY underscore group. Okay. Dot my cloud server sg dot id. Okay. In the in your double quotes. Right. But so now what is happening is that here you need to create an AWS instance as well as the security has to get created AWS security group, and that security group has to get assigned to your instance. Correct? Right, sir? So US East one, and this is my access key, and this is my secret key. Fine. Now what I will do that I will try to save this file, and because here you have a TF file, let me check whether I have the .terraform. Yes, it is there. So I need not to run the terraform.init, right? That it is not required. Now, before I do it, let me run a terraform validate to just check if there is any syntax error. Yes, there is something the syntax error. See here, not syntax error. What it says that in the resource, you could see that VPC IDs, right? It is inappropriate. It's saying inappropriate value of attributes. A set of string required actually. Right. Now, what you happen to, sir, if you see that, that's what at the beginning itself I told that there is an error actually. Purposely, I want to showcase that there is an error. Even though this is correct only, but what is happening because this is a string actually. When it comes to the Terraform, if you are mentioning the string in the double quotes, it will throw an error actually like this. Okay. You can even what you can do that you can copy this like this, and you can go to the Google and just paste it and just check what is this error actually. Here, why I'm getting this incorrected value. If you come downwards, they would have given something. It is an incorrected attribute value. Basically, what you have to do now, you have to use the like a double quotes you have to use here. I mean, sorry, the open the flower bracket, not flower, square bracket and close the sub. So you have to use the square brackets actually. So if you come here, open the Terraform file again. Now you put the square bracket actually. See, this is only something like a trial and error. So, like for example, you should when you are working on it, you will understand all these things. This will check whether this will work or not. Okay, I'll save this file. Again, I will say Terraform validate. So see what it says. It says it's the configuration file is valid. Okay, let me apply and see if it works or not. Terraform apply. So and say yes. See, see, it is throwing an error. So even I knew this also because I already worked on it, right? I know that it will going to fail it actually. So why? Because right here when you are using the square bracket actually, and you are specifying this reference of this resource actually, you need not to use a double quotes actually. You should remove the double quotes like this. Now it will work, sir. Now it will work. Even though syntactically you said it is correct, but when it is doing an apply, right, at that time it found actually. Now I will not do validate. I'll just directly do a Terraform apply. Okay. Now you see that now it will go. Now it will go fine. Okay, it basically will take around some 1 minute or so. Yeah, now it has got created. Now I'll go to my instance, then I will just refresh it. Now you could see that it has got created. Now if you click on this, and if you come over here down, and if you go to the security, and here you could see that actually that it is using this security code. See here, allow underscore TLS. So that's what you are been using, right? See, this is what the naming is. Here also you could have changed the name like my cloud SRSG, but okay, fine. So this is what your new security group has been created. But if you check over here, in your case, right, elastic IP address is nothing, it is blank. So there is no elastic IP address is assigned actually. Okay. So to do that, what we can do? So let me do one thing. Let me do a Terraform destroy. Okay. So now you know that security group also will get destroyed as well as the EC2 also will get destroyed, right? It get destroyed all your resources, right? Or all your infrastructure. Correct, sir. Any doubts you have, sir, in that security group? It's a simple, right? It's just I need to just assign it and then I have to just execute it. That's what, right? Okay. Yeah. So now if you go over here, if you see the EC2 instance, see, it got terminated basically, right? See, it got terminated, right? So that instance is not there actually. Now, what is my requirement is that I have to assign the elastic IP address, right? The elastic IP address. To assign that elastic IP address, if you come to a documentation in the same VPC only or AWS, sorry, EC2, here you have something like AWS underscore EC2 underscore IP. Where is it? See, IP, AWS underscore EIP, right? This is also many times they ask it or they expect you to know all these things. So AWS underscore EIP. So now same thing, sir. There's nothing is there. Just to copy this one. Copy this, and then like so you have this file. We know it was. Now sometime what is happening is that actually you have so many resources created like this actually, right? You have so many resources created. Now you will say that Rajesh, I don't, even though that security that resource is there, I don't want to really apply that resource actually. So in that case, what you can do that actually, like you say that okay, I don't want this, so I don't want this default VPC also. Let me do one thing. Let me comment it like this. Like this also you can do, sir. It means that actually you are commenting out. It means that you while applying it, it should not apply this resource. It means that you don't need this resource, so you have to use in this slash star like this. You have to use, right? Now, if you come up here, so what you're doing? Okay, I don't want to even use this also. I'll better remove this, right? And then what I will do? I will try to copy this lines. Basically, I've already copied. Let me copy it one more time. So I'll paste this line. So what it says that it says a resource. So AWS underscore EIP of LB something. So what I will do that I will change this LB to something like my cloud actually, right? My cloud. What is it, sir? My cloud. What I can give? EIP I will give, right? Or my cloud server EIP. Sorry, server EIP, Elastic IP, right? And then what he's saying, he is using AWS instance of web.id. Web is something it is using a reference, but here in this case it is I'm using my cloud server, right? So just replace this web with the my cloud, right? My cloud server actually. Okay, and then ID. Okay, VPC is something like a true. Okay, you need not to worry about that. It is considering as a true, right? It is taking that VPC default VPC. right? Now here, now how it will know that AWS instance, whatever it's getting created, it has to assign this. So to do that, actually, if you come over here in your documentation of AWS, right? Here, what is happening that this is for your AWS underscore instance, correct? Okay, let us check if there is any value for your Elastic IP. Security group is there. Sources, tag, dependency, user data, volume. Is there anything is there? Yes. Okay, instance type IB6. Okay, host ID, Hibernate, ephemeral, nothing is there, sir. So by default, what happened, right? Whatever you are taking the reference of this, right? My cloud server, right? So by default, whatever the IP is getting allocated, right? AWS, that will get assigned to your instance actually. So there's nothing like you need to mention over here. That's what I want to just show you that how you can manage it actually. So if you see the attributes or the argument reference, you have to see is there anything which the elastic IP address there which you have to assign as a variable within the resource, right? Nothing is there. So you can confirm that, okay, this is what, nothing to be added over there. So just save this file and then say Terraform validate. The configuration is right. So I'll just even do the plan also. I'll not apply it. I'll just see if there is how it goes actually. Terraform plan. Okay, sir. It is just adding a two resources. That's what it says that actually. Fine. It'll go fine now. So if I say Terraform apply. So now you got to know that whenever you don't want to use any resources, you have to use that slash star and again close with the star slash, right? That is what you have to you have to do in your file. Or else you remove those lines, or else you have to still maintain it. Actually, then you can just comment it out like that is like it is like a commenting the sections, right? Right, in scripting and all, whenever you want to comment, right? Not scripting, basically in the shell scripting you use hash, right? Hash print is like a comment. Suppose some line you want to comment, like before that line, right? In shell scripting and all, you use hash. In some languages and all, you'll use double slash, right? Double slash, like in C language and all, right? Whenever you want to comment out any section, right, you use a double slash. So from the string where before that string, right, if you use a double slash, and after the string where you'll do double slash, all those strings which are between the double slash, right, will be considered as a comment actually. And while compiling, those codes of line will not be considered during compilation. Similarly here also, like those codes which comes under slash star, right, that will not be considered while applying while applying by the Terraform actually. So now it is executed now. Now I will just refresh this. Now you could see that this has created. Now click on here. Now come over here. See, can you see an elastic IP address has been assigned? Correct. And these are all paid, sir. Actually, once you do it, I think in per hour, 7 rupees will be detected if you're using elastic IP address. If I'm not wrong, okay, 7 rupees or 4 rupees, something will be detected. That means that it will be used actually. Okay. So elastic IP address is assigned actually. So basically, why exactly the elastic IP address is used? See, for example, you are having a public IP address, correct? Now you are having this instance which is having this public IP address, correct? This instance, see here, if you come here and if you scroll here, see, if you just highlight this one, you could see that this is your, when you go to networking, this is your public IP address, and this is your private IP address, right? Now, if you come down here, see what is happening that when you reboot the machine, if you reboot the machine or if you stop the instance and start the instance, basically this public IP address will get changed actually. It will not be constant actually. But assume that you have given this IP address for some customer too, so that he can hit and he can access this, your application which is running inside the server, right? At certain point of time, what is happening that you want to do some maintenance activity for your server, and then what happened that you might tend to go to the reboot or something, you want to stop the instance, start the instance, this will go off actually. And again, what is happening that you need to give another new IP address which is getting assigned, right, to your customer. So that is not feasible, right? Every time you cannot give a new IP address to the customer. Hence what is happening that you can allocate a dedicated IP address for it actually. That is an elastic IP address. So if you scroll here, now you could see that, see, elastic IP address has been assigned to it. Now, even though the system is rebooted or stopped and started, this elastic IP address will always be fixed. It will not go off actually. So this is basically, this is also a public IP address, sir. This you can give to a customer so that whenever he want to access any application through this server, right? In this server, my cloud server, which is running, right? You can give this elastic IP address. That is a usage of the elastic IP address. But it is payable, sir. It's a chargeable. You have to pay the money for that actually, because you are dedicatedly using a one IP address actually, public IP address uniquely, right? So that is a chargeable, right? So now what I'm doing that I have already, so here if you come over in the details, right? If you see it, see elastic IP address is already assigned. So this is a public IP address, correct? So now I don't want it, or else you want to destroy it, you can destroy it like this. Terraform destroy. So till here, are you clear, sir?
Yes.
Great. Okay, guys.
So one small doubt, Rajesh. If you don't mind, could you please open main.tf once? There
Yeah.
was a typo is there, but how this infrastructure got created?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now it is open. Yeah. Let's switch to the root user. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in main.tf there is a typo mistake, Rajesh. So
Where?
resource EIP my cloud, that E is there, but in the resource there is no E. My cloud server.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the above one, red color. AWS underscore EIP.
Mm-hmm.
The next, yeah, there is a cloud DE, my cloud DE server. Yeah, it is.
Okay. What is there? Okay. Mm-hmm.
Cloud,
This is
my
this is
cloud, there is E, Rajesh, but again, the above one there is no E.
no, sir. Actually, this is the name you are giving for this one. This is a resource name, and this is the name we are giving. But what is happening in the instance actually, you are to whom you are referring actually, you are actually giving to AWS instance dot. This should be correct. This should match actually.
Okay.
This can be
Got,
anything. I can give here Mahesh also.
oh, okay, got
It
it, got it.
doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
giving
got
it
it.
with my own name. Yeah, my cloud server EIP. So, yeah,
Yeah,
there's a mistake, but okay. This is how it should be like this. Okay,
okay.
clear, sir?
Yeah, got it. This is a name,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
That's
it's a name actually. Yeah, yeah. Now
okay.
I'll do one thing, sir. I'll remove it all these things, sir. I don't want I don't want all these things now.
That's fine. Thank you, Rajesh.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, sir. So now, okay. Now what I will do, I'll just save this file. Okay. So now, what are the other things we have? We have something known as this is over. We have something as AMI. But before the AMI and all, or before the EBS, let me tell you about something on the Terraform states, or what exactly Terraform. It is always important to understand this thing. Now, see, whenever you are working with the Terraform, sir, like for example, I have a main.pf file. Okay, assume that this file I'll remove, sir. Okay, so you have only the main.tf, sir. Now you could see that it is very simple, right? You know very well that I will create this instance, and this is a T2 micro, and basically I'm giving the name. So you know very well that this resource AWS underscore instance resource will get created with this name, right? So we know this very well that it will create it, and this is the AMI. This basically this AMI is nothing but it is a Amazon Linux AMI, and the instance type is T2 micro, right? When you apply it, we know very well that it will get created, right? Now, so let us apply it. So I will not do validate or nothing. I'll just directly say apply. Now, what is happening is that, sir, actually, now when you do an apply, basically with the help of a Terraform file, we are building an infrastructure. So in that infrastructure, what you're mentioning that I need a AWS instance of a type T2.micro and the image of the image should be a Amazon Linux image. It means that once the VM is get created, in that VM, I need a Amazon Linux operating system, or I need the Amazon Linux server or instance to be running in that. So that's what the Terraform says, right? And that is what the status what you're maintaining it. It means that basically you say that as a desired state. It means that you need that state, correct? You need that state actually. Now, if you do an ls, now you could see that actually once you are executing the Terraform apply, automatically it creates one file known as Terraform state. Sir. See, open the Terraform state. This is nothing but your current state, sir. It means that this showcase that actually that you are in currently in the infrastructure, right? It is basically it is running with this AMI, and this is the name what you have given is my cloud server, right? And if you go over here and if you just see it has already got created. Clear, sir? It means that the current running state, whatever the current running state is there, that it will try to maintain with this file. What is that file? It is maintaining the help of a file known as a terraform.pf state. So this is basically a file which is maintained in the current status. So here it has a desired status and here it is a current status. Correct? Now what I will do now that let me do one thing, sir. Let me stop this instance actually. I'll go and I'll stop this instance. Okay? I'll stop this instance. Why I'm stopping, I will tell you now. Okay, so let me check whether it is stopped or not. Okay, it is getting stopped. Okay, sorry, I think I have to remove this. Now it says that actually okay, there is some issue was there. Fine, now it is getting stopped actually. So it is in the stopping state. It should come with the stopped state actually. Sure, it came to stop state. Now what I can do, now the instance type is T2 micro, sir. Now what I will do, I'll click on it here and I'll go over here or I'll go to the action, instant setting. Here I'll go, I'll say change insta type actually, change instance type. So the change, what I will do, I will give something as a T2 nano I'll give and I'll say apply. And I'll say apply. And what I will do that I'll apply it. Okay. And then what I will do, I'll basically, where is it, sir? Yeah. See, it is applied now, right? It is applied now. T2 nano, right? And I'll just start it actually. So you could see now that that will come into the running state. See, now it came to running state, correct, sir? But here in the Terraform file, if you see the state file, right, or the current state file, this state file has information that the T2 instance or nothing but the instance type is T2 micro only. But here, accidentally, what I did, I just tried to change from my end. Manually, I did it actually. Now, if I try to do a Terraform, I'll say plan actually. Terraform. See what it is doing, sir. It is trying to refresh it. What it is trying to refresh means basically, if you check it here, see it is refreshing the state. So it has noticed what object has changed outside of the Terraform. See, it is clearly stating that actually. So Terraform detected the following changes are made outside of the Terraform since the last Terraform apply. See what it says. It was T2 micro, but somebody has changed to T2 nano. Clear, sir? So it means that it can carefully understand. It means that basically what it will do a differentiation between whatever we have a TF state with whatever the current running actually. So it has understood now. Now when I do a Terraform apply, what will do? When I do a Terraform apply, what will do? See what it says that actually, see here. If you see this tilde mark, it means that these are the changes actually. Say Terraform will perform the following action. See, if you do a tilde mark, what it says that AWS inside my cloud, it has to change from the T2.nano to T2.micro. Why? Because right in the main.tf, you have mentioned the desired state that you need T2 micro, but accidentally somebody went and they changed to T2 nano. So always what will happen that whatever the current state is there, if there is a mismatch with the desired state, Terraform apply will try to override it and it will make sure that it has to come back to the desired state. So now if you say yes, so what it will do, it will try to do a modification actually. Modifying basically what it does, right? Basically, I think it will try to kill that. See, it is stopping it actually. See, it is stopping it, and then it will try to change the T2 nano to T2 micro, and then it will make it up. See? Stopping. You can make out, see, still modifying, it says that. Right? So this is very, very important, sir. They will ask in the interview, what is a Terraform state? So to say that Terraform state is nothing but that is a file which has a current state of running, actually. And whatever the Terraform file we have .tf file, that is a desired state file, actually. So you know that many of the people, our juniors, will do these mistakes and all, right? When we go back and when you do a Terraform plan or Terraform apply, then you'll get to know that somebody's already changed the configuration. So it will try to bring back all those changes as a desired state and it will do it, right? That's all. See? See, now it has changed to T2 micro, right, sir? See, pending. So now it will come back. See, clear, sir? Now it can come back. See, now what it does after this, you could see that actually you do ls, whatever it is there, no, sir, whatever are there, it will take as a backup of it, and what are the new change state is there, that will maintain in the TF state. It will always do like that actually, right? So this is nothing but your Terraform states are actually. Any doubt? I hope nothing should, there should not be any doubt actually. It's a clear, right? This is the desired state and this is the current state actually, current state of your running. If you still have any doubt, let me know, sir. We can discuss on that.
Rajesh, one quick question. If
Hmm.
accidentally I can run, I don't have any changes external.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I have run couple of times my main.tf like Terraform apply. Is it
Hmm.
override or is it have a snapshot?
It'll override, sir.
Override. Okay.
Yeah, override actually. Yes.
Is any, version is available, Rajesh? I think it's override means. Do we have any
Hmm.
update? Is it overriding like that infrastructure? Can you have a quick check on that if you don't mind?
Like, yeah. See what is happening, sir. This is what it is happening is that that's what I'm saying. See, this is your desired state, sir. Correct. It means that this is what you need. Later you come over here and you change to T2.nano, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Nano, what will happen that it will try to apply the configuration like how we did earlier, right? So what will happen that whatever this desired, whatever the current state it was there, right? That will be moved into as a backup actually. So
Okay.
backup, in the backup, you'll get the older one. So in the older one, what you had T2.micro actually. Now in the newer one, you are saying T2.nano I need actually. So in the Terraform.state, it will have a T2.nano, but in the older state, you will get a T2.micro actually. So whatever the current state is there, that will be once you are applying the config change, any other change, right? It will be moved as a backup file. This is what it is. It will have, sir. So it will only have the last change, sir. You don't get some kind of you won't get some kind of a versioning here actually. It means that suppose that I have changed this Terraform file for 10 times actually, and I have applied. You will say, Rajesh, what is the second time when you did changes, right? I want to get that version. You will not be able to get it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You got
Got
it?
it. Yeah, got it. Right.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
It will only maintain these two states, sir. Actually, one is a last immediate backup, last backup, and one is a current state. And this is the main.tf file, which is nothing but your desired state file actually, or else the main Terraform file actually.
Got it.
Okay. Now, Okay, now next is a AMI, sir. Actually, basically AMI is not but AMI full form is not but Amazon Machine Image, right? So if you go over here and if you do a launch instance, see, AMI is nothing but your Amazon Machine Image, actually, right? Your Amazon Machine Image. Now, what you say that actually? So let me do a destroy, sir. Actually, Terraform destroy. Okay. Yeah, of course. For example, if you are maintaining this Terraform file, sir, in your GitHub, and you are doing the changes, right? In the GitHub, it can maintain the versioning, sir. Of course, right? It will maintain the versioning, right? If you are keeping, that's the reason what happened. That's one of the good question that you can keep it a versioning if you keep that Terraform file in the GitHub. GitHub itself will maintain the version. You need not to do it actually. Terraform itself will not do, sir, actually.
Okay, okay.
So in that case, you will get all kind of version, whatever the previous you did, right? Everything you can track it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So now, okay. So what is an AMI basically? See, whatever. Suppose like this is my current running server, sir. Actually, this is my current running machine or the VM. Actually, I need to create a EMI of this. It means basically assume that you say, Rajesh, this is my machine which is running. Okay, I need to create a snapshot of this image because there might be some server which is running, something like Apache server is running. Inside the Apache server, right, you have hosted some web application that is running. You say that, Rajesh, I want to have the same snapshot of your image of your running server or your running application, right? I need to have a snapshot of it actually. So I need to create an basically you have to create an EMI image. It means that I have to create a snapshot, and on top of that snapshot I have to create an AMI. So there are two ways of creating AMI, sir. One is what is happening that whatever the server which is running, right? This servers, whatever the volume we have, right? That volume you have to take a snapshot, sir. So let me write. So AMI, there are two ways of creating it. There are two ways of creating AMI image, okay, from the current running server or from the current running VM. The first is that the current running VMs or servers volume, you need to create a snapshot actually. Okay, with that snapshot, with that snapshot, you can create AMI. This is one method. The second method is nothing but what are the VM is there, nice? Whatever this instance is running, right? From the directly from this instance, you have to create a AMI. So directly from the running instance, you need to create a AMI. Both are possible, sir. These are the both methods we'll use. Even we'll do it in our AWS also. Like whenever I want to create an AMI, you will create a volumes that volume snapshot you will create, and that with that snapshot you will create an AMI. Similarly, or else you can even directly do also. So how to do that? Like for example, if you come over here, see this servers, right? This where is a volume? So if you come down here, can you see there's a volume over here? Click here. You could see that this is a volume running, sir, and you could see the name also, Terraform server. Okay, this is a volume that is running. Let me check for this volume. Is there any snapshot? Is there? See, there is no snapshot here. So what I will do, I'll go to the volume. Okay, and what I will do, sorry, I'll go to the snapshot, and I'll just create a snapshot of this volume, sir. See, so what you have to see, it is showing both the things. Either you can create a snapshot of the volume, or else you can create a snapshot of the running instance itself, actually. But right now I'm doing with the snapshot of the volume. Okay, I'll select this volume and then select a volume ID. Come over here, select your Terraform's volume, running volume. Fine. What is the name you want to give? Something like snap one. Okay. Come here. You have to add a tag actually. Okay. Let me add a tag. So name snap one. Same name I'll give. See, and you will say create. Now you could see that under the snapshot, under the snapshot actually. See, snapshot, you are actually creating a snapshot of your volume actually, of this volume. Okay, it will take some time to come to a completed stage, right? Because it's a 8 GB, right? It has to take a complete snapshot. It will take around some 1 minute or so to come up. So it has to come into the completion stage. Okay. So what and all you can do with an AMI, sir? Like you can create an AMI of your volume snapshot, and then what happened, right? You can create a AMI from your current snapshot. That is one way. Second, what you can do that if you want to copy the snapshot from your region to some other region, actually, right? For example, Mahesh, sorry, or else for example, some person is using or he's working under this region. You want to copy that AMI from here to here, so you can use that also. Or else what you can do that actually, I'm having an account. See, for every user there's an account, sir. This is my account ID. Even like for Mahesh sir also, there's an account ID. You will say that Rajesh, this snapshot, whatever you are, not snapshot, this AMI, whatever you are creating, right? Can you copy or can you give a copy or can you give a reference to some other user account so that even he can also access? Yes, you can do that actually. Manually also you can do that, right? I mean, in your AWS only you can do that. Just check, see, it has come to the completed stage. So now what you will do, you will go to your AMI, okay, or else you will be in the snapshot. Click on here, and you could see that. See, where is it, sir? Create an image from the snapshot. See here, create the image from the snapshot. So click here. So what is the image you will give? Some AMI name image you have to give, sir. What is that? My AMI. Something. X36. So you have to give all these details, sir. Okay. What is this? Everything. Finally, you create an image. Actually. So if you go to the AMI here, see, you got this image AMI. See here. Now this AMI you can run an instance actually. By using this AMI, you can run an instance. See, this is manually I'm doing it, sir, actually. Now you could see that actually, if this is AMI. Now here, if you come over here and you see that, copy this AMI. You can copy to any of the regions, sir. Sir, here you are having Northern Virginia. See, we can copy to any of this region actually, and there's a copy AMI. So you'll be able to copy it actually, right? Or else you want to give permission to some other user account. See, manage, change description, register, copy, edit AMI permission. See, if you do an edit AMI permission, see, you can basically give a public, or else what happens, see, add account ID. I'll add an account ID. I will give Mahesh sir's account ID, this account ID, and I will say share AMI. So if I do this one, Mahesh will be able to see my AMI in his machine, in his AWS account actually. So you can do all this you can do all these things with AMI, sir. So the same stuff I want to achieve through the Terraform file actually. So now you understood the importance now, right? Sir, did you understood the importance of this? Sir?
Yes, Rajesh.
Yeah, now you understood the importance of how we can, nicely you need to give this AMI to any other user account and everything. So that's the reason what you have to do that. You have to come over here, and what you have to do that, you come to the documentation, and you will see something known as AWS underscore, what is it? AMI. See, AWS underscore AMI. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just close all these other stuffs. Okay, and like I'll open this AWS underscore AMI. Okay. See here, they give an example. Just to simply blindly copy piece of. Just copy this. So what it says actually. Okay. I'll go to the min.tf file. I'll just come over here and I'll just say copy paste.
Rajesh, your screen is not sharing.
Sir, can you
Your
see now?
I'm able to see this site can't be reached.
What about
Even
others?
even I'm not able to see.
Not, whatever I'm doing, cursor mouse, I mean, whatever I'm doing, are you able to see or not?
No, nothing.
No, Rajesh,
How come? Oh, God.
it's stuck.
Oh, it got stuck. Now, sir, just let me know, sir, because it might take some time. If it is not working, then I'll stop the sharing screen and again I'll start the screen sharing actually.
No, still not able to see.
Yes.
Okay. There is some problem has happened, sir. Then. Okay. Now, are you able to see my this one? Nothing is. Are you able to see the screen? This screen, the main screen, now, or it is
No,
stuck?
it is stuck, Rajesh. Actually, it is
Completely stuck.
only site
No.
can't be reached.
Okay, okay. I'll stop sharing, sir.
Yeah.
And again, I need to start the sharing. Now, nothing is coming, right? I'll
Yes.
stop. Correct. Shall I share the screen now? Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Let me know if it is you're able to see.
Yeah, able to see now, Rajesh.
Great, sir. Thank you. What about others? Ashish, everyone?
Yeah, yeah.
Thank God. Good that at least it is working. Okay. So what I was trying to tell that when I go with the documentation, like under the EC2 itself, you are having AWS underscore AMI. I just open this document, sir. So what I did here, this is the resource AWS AMI. What I did, I just try to copy it actually. Like this. So I'll come over here, open the main.tf, and I copied this. See, the same thing I copied over here. Okay. So now what I have to do that, I need to create, because already I have created a snapshot, sir. Do you agree with me? I have created a snapshot. Where is a snapshot? So this is a snapshot I created. So what is this snapshot? I created a snapshot of this root volumes. What is the root volume? Root volumes is not but your Terraform server, which is running, that is roots volume. So snapshot I created it, and you saw how to create a snapshot. I just say create snapshot, and you can create it. So this snapshots actually, I need to create an AMI, sir. To do that, actually, you are having an AWS AMI resource. So what it says, AWS AMI, AWS underscore AMI example. Okay, this is the name. I can change any other name, but let it be name. What is the name you want to create? Terraform example. Okay, fine. Virtualization type HVM. Okay, let it be. What is the roots device name? The roots device name always it will be /dev xda1. But if still if you want to confirm, sir, you can go here to the instance. You can go back to your instance, and then you can just click over here, and if you come down, and if you go to the storage, and if you come down, not storage exactly, or else where is somewhere I saw, see here, /dev xvda, this is a device type, sir. See, same thing I'm using it here. So if there is some other change, just change it to that name over here. See, roots device name, this is a roots device name /dev xvda. Okay, now what it says, device name is /xvda, and what is a snapshot id? If you come here, already I took a snapshot, right? Snapshot. See, this is a snapshot ID. Click here. See, you can just copy this snapshot ID. Copy it here, and then just paste it over here, right? So this is snapshot ID. What is the volume size? You can give anything but 8 GB. By default, what happened, right? If you go to the volume group, by default, it will be 8 GB only. See, this volume is 8 GB only. So whatever the snapshot which you are having, that is also 8 GB only. Fine. So this is how you are creating, sir. Okay, I'll just save this file. So now whatever doing that, now, see, now if you understand very carefully, in this, what happened, I just added this section, correct, sir? This one, already there is one server instance which is running as a my cloud server. Now, when you do a Terraform apply, it will not recreate it, right? Because already this server is, this instance is up and running. So, okay, this server, and this is having T2 micro. Okay, here also T2 micro is running, or this instance is running, right? So, it will just ignore it. It will not do any reapply, right? Now, if you save this file, And when you do a Terraform validate, just to check if there is any syntax error. Hopefully there should not be any syntax error, right? Now when I do a Terraform apply, just watch carefully what it does. See, two changes to be added, but here what it is doing, right? It will only apply. See, my cloud is already there, sir. Actually, plus plus plus, but it's already there actually, right? Plus plus plus, it's already there actually. Only the stuff which is not there is nothing but your AMI actually. See, if you do an S, see, it's already sets creating, but it is done actually. See, AWS AMI example, it is creating now. See, so this will take some time because it has to create an AMI, right? You know very well that while creating it took around 1 month, 1 minute or so, right? So it will take some time actually. Clear, sir? So guys, how you are feeling Terraform now? Like it is today's day 4 session. Like till now, how are you feeling comfortable? Are you okay now? Do you have some confidence in Terraform understanding at least? There are many steps are there. We need to go through it, but I'm just asking you. See, after 42 seconds, now it has created. Now go back over here, and then like if you come down here, and if you go with your AMI, see here, it has created with your name Terraform hyphen example. See, the same thing what we use here, right? See, with this name, it has created an AMI. With now you can share this AMI to anybody. Correct, sir? Clear? Now, next whatever what we have after this AMI created, okay, AMI have got created. See, AMI copy. Copy means what happened from your region to some other region you want to copy it. Okay, let us see that also. Just I will click on this. See, AMI copy allows duplication of the Amazon machine image, including the cross region copies. You want to copy from, so basically I'm under the North Virginia, right? I need to copy to the Oregon. So you can do that also, actually, right? So to do that, see, already what it is then that you are having a, you have something also, you have having something as a copy actually. So I can just copy this and come over here and paste it. You can even keep it because already you have created this, right? You, if you want to keep it, you can keep it, or else you can remove it. It doesn't matter actually. So you'll come over here, or else just to avoid the confusion, you can remove these lines actually. Already created, right? Now you don't need that section. So now I want to just want the copying actually. See, just copying it. Now, if you see carefully over here, what it says the resource AWS AMI copy. Fine. Example. Oh, I'm maintaining the same example. Okay. Name. What is the name? Terraform hyphen example. So you need to copy, but you have to get the copy with this name itself. I don't want to have with this name, sir. Some extra string I want to add actually at the end to just to differentiate it actually. Something like COPY. Okay. Now the description, the copy of him. Here it says that source AMI ID. So go back here. Now if you go here, and if this is your source AMI ID, right? Click on here, source AMI ID. You can copy this AMI ID, right? Copy it and paste over here. Now the question is that what is a source AMI region? Your source is what? Northern Virginia. This is a source. US East 1, right? Okay, sorry. Correct, sir. This is a source actually. Where you want to copy? You want to copy it to the destination. Here you can specify. Suppose you say that Rajesh, I want to copy from the Northern Virginia to the California, Northern California, US West 1. We can come and change over here actually like this. When you apply, it will work. But what is happening in my case, right, sir? Some of you know that actually I'm not able to switch, okay, from my Northern Virginia to the California. See, if I come over here and if I do a right click and open in a new tab, so there is some error you are getting, the DNS proof fixed actually. In your case, you can try out this example, sir. So what I'm trying to do here, right? What I will do, instead of doing that, I will copy in my region only, just to showcase this example actually. So you can give any region over here, but here I'm giving my own region itself. So it means that within my region itself, I'm copying it, the AMI, just to showcase that this copying is happening actually. Okay. Now you will save this file actually. So I'll say Terraform, plan actually. It's a dry run, you know very well. This is a dry run, right? So, and then say Terraform apply, right? So it is copying. See, AMI copying is happening, sir, right? So if you come over here and if you click, because I'm into the Northern Virginia, I'll go to the AMI just to verify. Okay, is there any new thing has to come up here? The copying AMI, right? So it should come now. So once this copying error, what is the AMI? AMI file is use East one. Okay. Okay, some mistake I did, sir. What is it? Okay, AMI ID, source AMI ID, fine. US-East-1. Wait a second. Source AMI ID. This source, okay. Source AMI region. Okay. US-East-1. So I'm copying there itself actually. That's fine. So let me do one more time actually. I'll go to the AMI. So what I have to do here, I have to do a source AMI actually. So this is, oh, where I lost, sir. I lost it, huh? I lost it, sir, actually. Okay. So what I will do that, I have this EMI, I will give this EMI itself, sir, actually. Okay. Let's see it. 385 only, no? So I'll give this only, sir. See what happened now, when I destroyed it, it went off, right? You know, right? When I destroyed it, right, that went off actually. Then how you can, right. Now this will work actually. Perform file. Okay. Whichever manually I created, right, earlier, right, I'm giving that one actually. So it will copy, sir. So hopefully this example will definitely work in your system, because if you can able to easily, once you copy it, suppose you are copying from from your Northern Virginia to the something California, right? You can go over there and then go to the AMI section. You could see that it has been copied actually, like that. So it will be copied. So while it is copying, right, we'll go to the other things, right? Now, after this AMI, see you have did the AMI. Now you could see that actually AWS AMI from instance actually. From instance means, as I told, right, there are two methods. One is what happened, right? I manually created a snapshot, and that with that snapshot, I created AMI, right? Or else you can even do a running from your instance only. You can directly create an AMI. To do that, actually, you can come over here and you can open this section actually. AWS EMI and from instance actually. So what it says that, see, nothing, sir, whatever the source instance ID is there, right? That source instance ID you have to give, sir, actually. So what is the source instance ID? Your source instance ID is this one, right? Come over here. This is your instant ID, right? This is your instant ID, right? This instant ID itself you need to copy here. Copy here and paste under this actually. Here, sorry, in this here. Now, if you run it, actually, what happened, right? It by default it will create a new AMI will get created, sir, with this name actually. You can change this name also. So you need not to do all those juggling of creating a snapshot of the volume and then do it. So that is that is a time consuming, right? Instead, you can directly do that. This one. Now this one, what it will do? AWS AMI launch permission. What will do that? Launch permission. If you come over here, see here. Suppose, as I said earlier, you want to give the permission to some other user account, like Rajesh is running. Rajesh account is running. I want to give to Mahesh. See here, in this case, when it comes to here, see, you have to give the account ID of Mahesh here. So when you give it, what will happen? The basically what happens that you are giving a permission. Even though you are sitting in your account, the AMI is there in your account. You can give a permission to a Mahesh user account so that he can. So once he gives a permission, right? So Mahesh user account, if he goes to the AMI section under him, right, he will be able to see my AMI actually. Whatever the AMI is there, right, he will be able to see it actually. Later, if you want to copy and all, he can give the copy. It is based on all the permission what I give actually, right? So these are the ways where I can create an AMI, sir. Actually, I mean, I can create an AMI. I can do a no, cross agent copy. I can do. I can, I can give a permission to some other user account, right? So these things we can do with an AMI. Clear, sir? So what happens? Let us see. So it will take some time, sir. It will take around 5 to 6 minutes. It will take to copy it actually. Clear? So any doubts you have, sir?
I'm good, Rajesh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good, Rajesh.
So similarly, we can even do for the EBS also, sir. Elastic block storage actually. Okay. What is it? We'll see. Once this completes, right, we'll see it. It's something like you can create a volume and all, right? See, if you go to the if you go to the AWS and if you see here, you have a volume here. You have volume, right? So this is the volume by default volume, which is for your instance which is running, right? Suppose you want to create a volume, you can say create volume like this. What type of you need a volume type, you need general purpose or something, you can assign it, and you want to give the size of 10 GB or 5 GB or 1 GB, and then you can allocate and then you can create the volume, right? It is same thing like that. EBS actually, you want to create a volume directly, right? You can use with the help of a Terraform, which is nothing but AWS underscore EBS volume. See, AWS underscore EBS volume. See, so what? See, same thing, sir. So what you're doing that, you are just creating a volume, and you're giving an example. Suppose I give as a my cloud volume, I'll say, and availability zone you have to mention, because I'm under the Northern Virginia, right? So it is nothing but US East 1. But here, if you go to the document, it is asking for availability zone. So you have to give US East hyphen 1A, you have to give, right? And then size of the volume. What is the size you have to give? So it is showing as a 40. It is not 40 GB. I don't want 40 GB. I'll give 10 GB. And then what is the tag? See, once you create a volume, right, you know that it will show as a tag over here, right? See, some tag it will create, right? Like this. So here, sorry, not here, here. See, some tag it will create, right? So now you could see, sir, actually it has copied now. See, volume is created. We'll see. Yeah, AMI is copied. I'll go to the AMI section. See here. Could you see that it has copied, right? Correct, sir? It's created a copy, right? So AMI means that I'm copying my from my same AMI, sir, same thing I copied as one more copy as a Terraform example. But you can do with the cross region which I discussed, right? In your system, you can do that actually. So now I will do a Terraform destroy. So now you know this, you know that we are creating so many resources, we are destroying, right? So maintainability become very difficult, sir. It means that you suppose you're creating some 100 resources and you want to destroy it, and you want to do it manually, destroying all the resources. It is very difficult. You cannot do it actually. That's the reason you have a beautiful usage of this destroy with a Terraform actually. So yesterday, what happened was that I will tell you a small experience. What I did yesterday, you saw like I created a lot of stuff when it comes to the VPC, right? I created a VPC, right? And I created a routing table. I created a internet gateway. Then I created a subnet. Then I did an association, everything. What I did a mistake, right? Yesterday, while doing a cleaning up, actually, whatever the default gateway we have, right? The gateway, whatever the default gateway I had, right? I mistakenly I removed that gateway, sir, actually. when you are removing the gateway itself, that internet gateway itself, when you're removed, right, you'll not be able to access any of this. Even though you create it, right, you try to do a connection to the petition, you'll not be able to do that. So I was just thinking, why I'm not able to connect. Yesterday night, I cleaned up. And today morning, when I created this instance, and when I'm trying to do a putty onto this, I'm not able to do that. Later, I understood that actually yesterday, in case of internet gateway, right, I mistakenly removed it, sir. Actually. So see, this today morning I created this default IAGW. See what I did? I attached to the default VPC, and then things were working like that. So it means that if you're not sure something you remove, right, it will lead to a problem, sir. Actually. So that's the reason, if you have created so hundreds of resources by your Terraform, you should have a component to destroy it also, right? That's what they have given, even the destroy also. So that you need not to break. Suppose you say that, Rajesh, I have created VPC, I have created a security group, I have created a routing table, I have created internet gateway, I have created a transit gateway, and I'm creating an endpoint. Okay. And on top of that, I'm creating the load balancer, I'm using application load balancer, I have configured it, I have even configured the route 53, right? DNS, everything you are configured. You are configured nicely, all the setup and things are working. Finally, you don't want to do it. You have to destroy, means you have to, one by one, you have to do it manually, right? It will take a lot of time actually. So that's what, if you do a destroy, right, you can easily manage destroying all these resources. So in that, you need not to keep a separate tab on seeing whether any of the resource which you have created, you have destroyed or not, or deleted or not. You need to keep a tab on that, because, and that's the reason it is very easy to manage even the pricing also, correct? Suppose assume that actually, sir, I created one IP, elastic IP, right, and I forget to remove it actually. See, I forget to remove it. You know very well, it's charging per hour actually, per hour 4 hours, right? You don't know, and you are just left like that. Suppose assume that you have assigned some 10 elastic IP, and you have not removed at all, and you have forgotten to go do it, and at the end of the month, no, you'll get some big bill. You'll get actually, right, billing, you'll get it. And if you check in that billing address, you will see that there are some 10 elastic IP address assigned which has not been released at all. Oh, then you will realize, then you will come over here and then you release it actually. So you have to always be very careful when you're working with cloud, right? You have to see that which are the unused resources which you are not using. Please delete all the things, sir. Otherwise it will lead to a lot of billing actually, right? Okay, sir. Now, okay. Fine, sir. Now what I will do, we'll go with the Elastic. Sir, will you try yourself about the Elastic, sir? Sorry, EBS. Should I teach you, or will you try out by yourself? Like what you have to do, that you have to say AWS EBS volume you have to do. AWS EBS snapshot copy you have to do, and ABS this snapshot you have to do, and then you have to do a copy. This copy is nothing but copying from one region to other region, sir. See, I can easily make out now. See, see, ABS is a snapshot copy. See, what is the source snapshot ID? Where you want to copy? Source region. See, it's the same thing like what we have for our this one, right? For our AMI, same thing. So will you try out, or should I do it now?
We can try it.
Yeah,
We can
these
try
three
that.
things are to, sir. AWS EBS volume, and then create a snapshot of that volume, and then copy the snapshot. These three things you have to do by your own, sir.
Sure, sure. Rajesh.
Okay, so that is exercise for you. Okay.
Okay.
Fine, sir. Okay. Now, okay. Sir, shall we take even our this one, sir? Variables. I was planning to take at variables. So can we continue? Variables is a very big topic, sir. We cannot cover in half an hour session also. It's a very big topic. It needs minimum of 1 hour, or 1 hour, 1.5 hour time is required. But we can start today the basic things like why is a variable is required and all. In the next session, it will be very interesting to learn more things in the variables actually. So from here, the Terraform, the interesting topic starts from the variable itself actually.
Yeah.
Still, all this
So,
days we are just copy pasting everything, right?
yeah, yeah.
So from today, what happens? Some interesting you will try to learn through the variables actually. So shall we start the variables?
Yeah, sure, Rajesh.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So now,
Okay.
yeah, Ashish, something you're saying?
Yeah, I'm good, Raj.
Okay, sir.
We can start.
Yeah, I'll do one thing, sir. I'll go here and I'll go to the AMI. just see that if there is an image there. So this I'll go and I will just uh, deregister. Okay, deregister AMI means that you are removing it. Now we'll go to the volume. I don't want to use this. See, this is the unnecessary volume, right? This is okay. It is also deleted. Fine. Snapshot. Any snapshot is there? Let me check. Yes, this is a snapshot which I created, right? So I'll click here and I'll remove it. See, I'll delete the snapshot. I'll delete it. So nothing is there, sir, now because all these are in kind of a chargeable, sir. These are all charged actually. Okay, so I removed it actually. Fine. Now, now, see what happens right here. Like whenever you are creating a resource, right? Suppose you have a main.tf file. So whenever we are creating resources, you know that actually how to create a resource we know very well, right? So we need to use that resource and then you need to specify some variable and with some value to specify, right? And then like you have to just run the Terraform init and later Terraform apply to just see that this resource is allocated in your cloud environment, right? So that's what we have been seeing from the day one, right? Now, what is this variable or how exactly these variables can be used actually? See, you know that if you ask how to define a variable, you say that variable is something like a label, right? You say that variable is something like it's a label that assigns some value. Variable is nothing but label which assign some value, right? And also some people say that variable is nothing but it is something like a name or it is something like a key where always the value will be keep changing, right? So you know very well in the programmatical language anyway, right? We use a lot of variables, right? If you take a C language or if you take Python or any other language, right, we'll be using a lot of time variables, right? So we know that for every value, whatever the value you have to assign, right, you need to assign a value with the help of a variable, right? So the advantage of using a variable is that actually, like, suppose assume that you are having a very big program and you are using some big string, actually something like this big string you are using in your program. In many of the lines, suppose there are 100 lines, some 40 lines you're using this value, in more in on 40 lines of the code you're using this value actually, or you are just having this value. Now you say that why you have to do this string copy from in all 40 lines? Can I assign some variable, something like var, and assign that variable value to it, and use this variable in that 40 lines of code, right? So what happened, right? It will reduce your like your coding also, and also what happened, right? Tomorrow, if you need to change this value or the variable, you can change it automatically. What happened? Whatever the other 40 lines are there also will get changed, right? Because like you need to go to all 40 lines and change it. You have to only change in first or top line where you have assigned this value to this variable, and then later what happened in the further code, right? Everywhere it get replaced, right? So that is one advantage of using variable, right? So you need not to use the same string line or something in each and every line wherever the change is happening, right? You have to only change in one place and rest everywhere it will get changed. So that is what the use of the variable, right? Now there's one scenario. Assume that in your company, if your boss or if a manager comes and say that actually, Rajesh, you please create one Terraform file. Actually, you create a Terraform file. You create a Terraform file. Like suppose I will say something like AWS.tf Terraform file. In that, my requirement is that actually I need to have an instance type. In this instance underscore type, okay, is equal to something like t2.micro, correct? Okay, fine. AMI means whatever the AMI you have, that you need something like a AWS AMI underscore something 12345. I'm just taking some numbers, sir. This could be your AMI of your Amazon Linux, sir. I'm just taking. And also you say that Rajesh, you need to create this instance into the zone, some availability zone, and that zone should be US-East-1A. And also you say that you need to use a security also, security group, and that security group something should be like dev security group. So these are the requirements. It says you'll say okay, fine. You'll create a Terraform file that is aws.tf, and finally you will use all those things whatever it gives, right? Now what will happen that suddenly if a manager comes and he say that, okay, I don't want this T2 micro, I need T2 large actually, or else I need T2 large or T2 medium, something I need actually, and I don't want that AWS AMI whatever you have. I have to use some other AMI zone. Let it be same as it is, or if you want some other zone, so you have to change the zone also. And you will say that he said that no, I don't want to use that security group whatever gave SJ. You want to use that Q hyphen no SG actually. You have to use, instead of using Dave SG, I want to use QSG. So what happened, right? Over the period of time, the same manager who told you to do this, actually, he will come and he will tell you to do some changes over here. Fine. As a developer or as a DevOps engineer, you know that actually, okay, whatever my manager's requirement is there, based on that, I will open this Terraform file again. I'll go appropriately in each and every line wherever the changes is there. I will change it and I will do a Terraform apply. It will work out. But assume that actually tomorrow you say that Rajesh, assume that this set of lines, it's not only this much actually, it's not only this much. There are so many, lines are there in your file where you're using this actually. Now if the manager comes and say that Rajesh, now you have to do the changes of instance type from T2 micro to M2 large, okay, and AMI to some other value, security group to some other value. Is it feasible to you to go to each and every line, do the changes, and then save it and then do apply, right? It is a time consuming, right? So you cannot do that actually, right? And it is not a good way also, or it is a very bad design, right? So what you have to do that actually, that what you will do. So you will say that, okay, let me do the variable, sir. Let me use a variable actually. So, okay, what you will do, same thing, what you will do, you will create a variable like this. Okay, instance type, something like VM, okay, sorry, instance type, VM, okay. Let me assign some variable, VM is equal to, you will assign something like this, t2.micro, correct? Now you will say AMI will give some names, something like image is equal to, I will give I will give this AMI, AWS AMI underscore 123. Initially, okay, you are assigning some variable actually. And then for the zone, what is the zone? You'll say, you'll give a shortcut name, AZ, availability zone is equal to, what is it? US hyphen East hyphen 1A, okay. And what is the security group? I'll give some small name, a variable name, SG is equal to, okay, Dave hyphen SG. Right? See, you have assigned some variables there. Now you say that I want to create this instance type. So how you do? See, instance underscore type equals. How to use that variable basically, sir? You have to use with the variable name var dot vm like this. Okay. What is AMI is equal to? You have to use a var dot image. I hope you're understanding. See, I'm using this image actually. So what happened that variable of this image, so it will get replaced over here actually. Similarly, what is a zone? You are saying that var dot sorry, var dot of AZ, and then what you will do, you will say security underscore group is equal to var dot of SG. Now you say that Rajesh, I have this much, I have the same set of copy, same set of is there in my code. There are many other places are there. Think like this. This is just one-time activity, sir. Like you have to just do first time when you're doing it, you have to assign to some variable name, and then you have to use this var dot something like that. Later tomorrow, if your manager comes and he say that Rajesh, I don't want the VM of T2 micro, I want the value. What you want the value? I want, what is it? M2 large. So what you can do? You can come over here just to replace this, sir. What you have to do? VM with M2 dot large. Right now you see that this VM wherever it is used, sir, everywhere it will be replaced. You need not to go to each and every line and change it. So that is an advantage of using the variable. Correct, sir? Do you agree with me? Sir?
Yeah, Rajesh.
Yes,
Yes.
Rajesh.
Yeah, so that is the beauty of the variable. So what is happening over here that actually that if you're using a variable, the amount of rework will get reduced drastically. It means that suppose you are having, you said, Rajesh, I don't want to use variable at all. I'll use directly this way. No problem. You can do it like this. But what happened, right? Tomorrow, there are a lot of changes will come to the picture where you have to go and edit each and every, right? It is a cumbersome. It is very, very difficult. And somewhere you will miss some variable to be changed actually. In that case, what happened? The Terraform validate will throw an error actually. So instead of it, what you can use, you can define a variable and you can assign the value for it. You can use that variable everywhere within your Terraform file. And also your code maintainability becomes very simple. That is one advantage. As well as the code size will get reduced, sir. So that is what you have to say. So earlier I used to achieve the same stuff without using the variable. Like I used to achieve without using variable some 100 lines of code. Now I'm able to achieve the same requirement. I'm able to achieve with the variable with just 60 line of code. So it means that even your number of codes will also get reduced actually, as well as maintainability becomes very easy. This is what you have to tell in interview. Why you are using variables? You have to say this way only, right? So the maintain will become very simple, as well as the number of code size, the number of lines also will get reduced, as well as what is happening that a lot of confusion and human error will also get decreased if we are using variables. Simple. Okay. Now, how to use these variables in my examples? Okay. Let us see now. So we'll give an example. Okay. What I will do, this is my Terraform file is there. Fine. What I will do, basically, I will try to do one thing, sir. Okay. I need to change stuff. So understood, sir. What I'm doing, I'm just creating a two AWS instance with the name My Cloud Server 1 and one is against the My Cloud Server 2. Both are using the same AMI image and both are using the same instance type T2 micro, T2 micro. Correct? Now you'll see what will happen. If you do I will not do Terraform validate and all. It will work anyhow. I'll just say directly Terraform apply. Right? I'll say yes. So it is creating instance. So if you come over here, what I'll do, state equals running. Okay. Now you could see that actually these two instances, one is a My Cloud 1 and My Cloud 2 will get created. See, My Cloud 1 is got created and now My Cloud 2 got created. Right? So now you say that, okay, Rajesh, I know that this two servers got created, which is of Amazon Linux, and it is having an instance of T2 micro. Now you say that, Rajesh, I don't want T2 micro, I want T2 nano. You'll say same thing, whatever you discussed. So what you will do? Okay, I don't want it. I want the same image, but I don't want to make it run under T2 micro. I want T2 nano or T2 small, whatever might be. Okay. So you have to go and you have to come and you have to edit this line. Basically, in the resource file, in the resource block itself, you are actually doing the changes. See, here you are coming and you are just changing it. Now we'll save this file. Now again say Terraform apply. Now we could see that there is a change in the current state versus the desired, right? So that's what it shows as a refreshing. So whenever there's a change from the current state to desired state, that's what is refreshing. They might ask an interview, what is in the refreshing state? You have to say that refreshing state means there is a difference between the current state and the desired state. That's what it shows the refreshing. Now you'll say yes. Right? So now you know very well that what it will do. It will try to stop it. See, it will try to stop. It's stopping it actually. It has stopped it, and then it will change the instance from T2 micro to T2 nano, and then it will make it up actually. Okay, still it is working. Yeah, it is still modifying. See, it is modifying. It is modifying. It is not creating. It is modifying the instance. Now it will come to the T2 nano. See how beautiful, sir, this is. See, now it came to T2 nano. Correct, sir? See, now it is completed. Correct? Now again you say, Rajesh, I don't want this EMI of Amazon Linux. I want the Ubuntu Linux, man. What you will do? You'll come over here. You'll go to launch instance. You say that I don't want. See, basically, I was using this ID, right? If you see it, 481. See, 481. Now you will say that now your requirement comes that you don't want that. You want this Ubuntu Linux AMI. So you'll come over here, copy this, and you see, and you will go and here you will paste it actually. I mean, you will change it. See, so much rework you have to do, sir, actually. So assume that there are some 100 lines of code is there, and in many places you want to do these changes. Do you think that this is feasible to do without using variables? Not right? No, right? Okay. Okay. Now again I'll save it. I'll say Terraform apply. I'm just showing you like why we need this variable, right? So in this case, what happened? Because I'm using the complete AMI, it has to destroy it actually. It means that basically it has to delete, it has to terminate those instances, and then a new instance has to be get recreated, and that will have an EMI of this Ubuntu as well as the instance is T2 nano actually. Correct? Okay. Okay, it is creating. Now it is creating. See? Now it is coming up. See? Now it has come up. T2 nano, and this is this two VMs will having a Ubuntu image, right? Okay. Now you say that okay, this is very, very difficult, man. You cannot do it actually. So here I have to use the variables, sir. How to use the variables? I'll come over here. I'll open the main.pf file. So what I'll do, I will come up over here. So I will use something as a variable. Okay. What is it? AWS instance. Sorry. What I will do? AWS instance. Okay. So let me do one thing. Let me use Amazon Linux. See, like this. Variable image. Okay. AMI. AWS instance, right? Sorry. I have to use here Not here. This I have to copy it here, sir. Correct. I have to copy it here like this. And here it should be something like T2 micro actually, not this one. Correct. Correct. So these are two variables, AWS instance and image something. Now if you come over here, so what you can do here, you know very well how to use that actually. This is AMI, right? This is nothing but var dot of image. Here, instance type is what? I'm into the insert mode only, that's what. Var dot AWS instance. Correct, the spelling should be correct, sir. Correct? Same thing here also, sir. It's a one-time activity, that's what I said. It will take some time initially while using variables in your Terraform file. But once you have completed it actually, then it becomes very easy to manage it. And then like here, var dot AWS. Yes, sir. Now I've already assigned this value AMI instance underscore type is equal to T2 micro, right? And AMI is equal to this one. Let us see, let us apply, sir, because this is running with, earlier it was running with the T2 dot micro, right? T2 dot micro, sorry, T2 dot nano. So now I want T2 dot micro and with some other new image actually. Let us see if it works or not actually. So Terraform, validate. Let us check if there is any syntax error. So what is it? AMI is not expected. Image.
Sir, it should be variable, right?
Variable or var also you can use, man. We'll see. That's what. One. Okay. Let's see what is it actually. AWS instance. Huh? Right. Okay. Okay. What is it? A variable VARI. Variable spelling is correct. Okay. Instance underscore type is to micro. Instance underscore type. Okay. Wait. This instance. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Hopefully it is fine. Validate. Let's see, sir. So what it says, instance underscore type, line number 8, unsupported argument, line number 8. Okay, I think I should not give a double quotes or something. Yeah. Same thing here also. Let's see. Okay, let's see now. So Terraform validate. T2.micro instance type, an argument named instance type is not expected here. Variable var of image, correct? No, var of image, AMI. Okay, instance underscore type, var dot of AWS instance. Okay. Here you have to give some space. Huh?
Underscore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
Does underscore support, Rajesh?
Yeah, it supports, sir. What is there in that? Let's see, sir. Let me check. If this is not working, I'll see it. I will give a last try, then we will see. Wait, I'll check later actually. I will cross verify with my example what I've set here. Okay. Okay. I am doing any mistake. AWS instance, correct only. Will you last try? Then we will check, sir. Okay. So Terraform validate. It's failing. Okay. Let me go. Let me go to my examples. Okay. Now what I'm doing over here. See variable instance type. Oh, I have to use defaults are actually. Oh, okay. I'm using some variable actually. So then what I'm doing, right? I have to use var of image, var of instance actually. Yeah, this is the mistake I was doing, sir. You got it, sir? Where I'm doing a mistake? See here, it should always be default
Yeah, yeah,
name.
not.
It should not be some other name actually. Oh, this is the mistake, sir. It should always be default only. How I can miss? Yeah, I remember it is default actually. But I'll always keep a working example so that if I fail anything, right, I can see that example and I can correct myself actually. So, okay. This should be in a double quote. Yeah, this should be in a double quote actually. So now you know that actually, even though you are practicing many times, sometimes you'll do a mistake actually. Okay, default. Yeah, here what you have to do that. See, if you come over here, var.image, var.instance type actually. Oh, just to avoid it actually. So let's just copy this example. Yeah. Okay, sir. Now this will work perfectly. See here. Now what you're having here, instead of directly passing over here, you know very well now that I have declared some two variables, instance type and image actually. In that inside, always you should use the name default only, sir. Default equals to t2.micro. And here what you say that in the image default is equal to, you are giving some image over here actually. And then how to use these variables actually inside your resources actually. You have to use AMI is equal to, earlier is to give directly the AMI image itself. Now we are giving var of image. Similarly, var of instance type actually. For here also the same stuff, var of image and var of instance. So now let's see how it works actually. Now we'll say that Terraform validate. So this should go fine now. So now if you say Terraform apply. So this works now, right? So it is destroying and it is recreating. That's what. So with simple use of the variables, we are just trying to manage the no manage no recreating all the stuffs into the into the sources. So always see, sir, whenever you are working with the Terraform, right? There might some person might ask the question to you, like you are having this Terraform file. they're having this main.terraform file. So they'll say that, is it a good practice always that whatever you want to change the value, you have to go inside a resource and change the value directly? No, it is not recommendable. That is not a good design. Whenever you want to change the value within your resources, you should not do it directly inside the resource. You should create a variable, and with the help of a variable, you have to change the value, sir. That is a good practice actually. So that's what they will ask in interview. So that's the reason variables are very, very important. Variables can be used from the day one onwards itself. But what happened, right? If you showcase everything in the day one onwards, it will get confused for you guys. Hence, what is happening that I didn't show anything on the day one onwards, because after we finish some few things, right, then I introduced this variable, so that now you will understand. Now you will be able to understand very easily. Now the second point here is that actually the very important the stuff here, that actually, suppose you are a senior engineer and you suppose your junior will call to you and you will say, sir, actually there is some problem has happened in infrastructure, sir, what to do? You will say that, okay, no problem, man. You open your that main.tf and you just change this value, okay, or you go and change to this value to this variable, whatever this value variable is there, change this value and apply it. So what happened that your junior, he will be able to get to know, okay, what are the values we are using inside a Terraform file. He will easily get to know it actually. So what happened, some more here there, you are actually you are giving information even to the juniors what exactly you're doing, right? So to maintain or to hide all this value of this variable, it is not a good design that the variables also you define in the same file. That is not a good practice actually. So what you have to do, that the same variables right here, you need to have a separate file itself actually, something like variables .pf file. Now here you have to go and paste it actually. Now, whenever your junior asks some issue, don't tell him to open the main.terraform file. You say that please open the variables file. There you go and change those variables, values, whatever is there, and then you just do an apply. So what happened? Your junior will not come to know at all what your main.tf is doing, sir, like this. So you can remove this. So you can use the variables within the main Terraform file itself, but that is not a good design. So you have to keep it somewhere in some other file. So that's the reason I created one more separate file, not the variables. You can give any name, sir. There is no mandatory that it should be with that name itself. Now you could see that actually I'm maintaining this variable in a separate file. Now I think I already destroyed it, right? Or I recreated it. Now you could see that it has created with the new images, right? With the new image with the t2.micro, right? Now you will say that, Rajesh, I don't want to do that. I want to open this variable file, and he will say that, okay, I don't want this. I will just do a, instead of t2 micro, I will say t2 small something, or t2 medium. I'll do image also. I want to change, sir. I don't want this uh, Amazon Linux or something. I will use some other image, sir. I will use this Red Hat image, or Red Hat actually. See, copy this Red Hat image, and here you paste it over. Okay. Now save this file. So now you have a variable.pf and you have main.pf. Now when you do a Terraform apply, now what is happening is that Terraform apply will know that actually there is one file in the main.tf which it has a provide, it has a resources. There is one more variable is there. Some variable is there. No, the variables.tf. Oh, now the Terraform will, it is so smart that it can easily understand, oh, this variables.tf, it has those variables which are used within the Terraform main Terraform file. So that's what happened, right? It will try to apply it actually. See, it is refreshing. See, I would say it is destroying, and it is creating an instance of T2 medium actually, T2 medium with the Red Hat as an image actually. Correct, sir? That is destroying, it will create it. So there are many things are there variables which will be continuing it, but until here you have to practice, sir, before we come up with the next session. If you practice until here, if you are comfortable with the using of the variable, it is good actually. So now you could see that actually still it is creating the image. Okay, it has created the image, still creating. Okay, now it has created the image. It has not come. It has destroyed it. It is creating, still creating, create image after 42 seconds. Why it is not showing here? Okay, what has happened? Not sure if this Red Hat image is working or not. I'm not sure. Okay, now it has come, sir. See, now it has come. See, it is initializing. See, this is there, and here one more is there, sir. Here, this is there. If you just filter it out with instant state equals running, you'll get to know. So now it is showing. See, it is allocating the T2 medium, and this is the 2 VM which is having a Red Hat image. Sir. You got it, sir? Now, so instead of keeping the variables within the main Terraform itself, you are segregating and you are keeping a separate file with the name variables.df. This name can be anything, sir. Actually, clear? And then like Terraform is so intelligent, it can understand where is that. Oh, these are variables which a user has defined the variables here, and this is the main Terraform file. So whatever the variables is there, that will, if those variables are used within this main.df, apply those variables inside this main.df. That it'll smartly it'll understand it, and it does apply. So similarly, if you don't want, you can Terraform destroy it. Again, sir, while practicing, don't use this T2 medium and all, because this is T2 medium. It is per hour 4 rupees, sir, actually. So it means that now assigned, right? It is up and running. Already 8 rupees is gone. Means 8 rupees already. It will come to my billing, sir. So don't do that. Just to show an experiment, you can play with the T2 micro, T2 nano like this, or T2 micro. Okay, don't go with the M2 large or T2 large or T2 medium. It will get charged actually. If you're okay, if you, you can pay the bill, means you can play whatever you want. But I'm just saying that you play with the T2 micro, T2 small, and T2 nano. These 3 instances only you play with it, like while practicing. Okay, but yeah, if you choose, see, if you're choosing a Red Hat image might not run in T2 nano or T2 small actually. So then in that case, also images also you have to only play with the 2 images. One is a Amazon Linux and other is a Ubuntu image, sir. Like this. If you say that you are using T2 nano and you are given the Red Hat image, AMI image, right? Then what happened? Red Hat might not come up actually. So in that case, you will think that, oh, there's an issue with the Terraform file. No, it is not with the issue with the Terraform file. It's an issue with the AMI, because this AMI, it needs some minimum requirement. It cannot run in a T2 nano or T2 micro. T2 small. It can minimum run in T2 micro actually. So that also should be aware of all those things actually. Clear, sir? So we just try to learn what is variable. There are a lot of things are there to learn. It's to learn about variables. So next class we will be completing the fully understanding from the from the basic variables usage to the high level end. We will be using that. So next class will be very important when it comes to variables, sir. Clear?
Yeah, sure, Rajesh.
Okay, sir. Now, okay.
Sure, Rajesh.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, now it is destroyed. Fine, sir. That's all for the day today. Okay, I think we'll stop the session, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Oh,
Rajesh.
oh, already we took 2 hours.